bench and scratch. If you're creative at home, you know what game we are thinking of here that you might play on a random game night with your friends. Just saying. Anyway, we've changed the language, we've changed the competition, and we're going to start with you, Perry, about the Hart Trophy. Who would you start, who would you bench, and who's getting scratched?
You know, and I found this one to be as difficult as it was between two of the guys. I found it relatively easy to scratch the guy, but I started with the guy who I had from the beginning of the year, Nathan MacKinnon.
Wow.
He's starting. I know Kucherov's. He's had a great year. I'm starting MacKinnon. We just talked about his point streak. He's creeping up.
Screeching?
He is creeping up
tough day
on a record that Wayne Gretzky has. I mean, sorry. When you start to get into those numbers, that's another planet for me. I'm benching Kucherov, and of all things, I can't believe I am scratching.
Words you'll never hear in the
I literally
NHL ever.
about to say this on
Connor McDavid scratched.
Connor McDavid is scratched.
Connor McDavid is scratched. Why would you say he's scratched?
Just because you got to hand it to MacKinnon and Kucherov.
Yeah, I think Edmonton
by
the numbers,
right? Like Edmonton, they were supposed to be. Hey, it was play a cup or bust from the summer. They were supposed to be in it for the playoff contention, the cup contention from the get-go.
Well,
Kucherov and MacKinnon, however, they've had to fight. They've had to carry their teams over. Now, I want to know, who do you have?
Well, we're somewhat close, but my start is Kucherov because Kucherov has had less around him this year, and I think now with, I hate to say like the guy with the most points, but he's done just incredible numbers. There's nobody even close to him on his team. And now with Duclair coming there, who I thought is one of the more undercover great pickups at the trade deadline, it's even sparked him more, and I think he's going to kind of run away with the points total. I am benching Nate Dogg MacKinnon. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, I'm scratching the god himself, Connor McDavid.
It's hard. It's almost hard.
It's hard. It's so bad, this game. What the rough?
It is hard.
It's hard.
But yeah, I think McKinnon's just put up too much. He's put up too great a numbers this year and carried this team in respect to Kucherov as well. But I just thought Kucherov has had less around him. Yeah. Injury to Sergachev. They've just been running on E for half the year, and he's been just keeping him in a playoff position.
It's crazy. Austin Matthews may score 70 this year. We're not even talking about him. But I'm going to go with my heart with MacKinnon to start.
Oh, so
there we go.
I'm the only Cooch.
Minds think alike.
I know. It's the same as Perry and McDavid as a scratch.
It's so awkward.
It's like sacrilegious to say it.
We almost want to apologize for it.
This is a great game by J. Roy in the back. He's having a tough day, but this is a great.
He's having a tough day.
Great thing by him today.
I agree with everything Perry said about MacKinnon. So he's going to start. He'll win it. All right, let's move on to the Norris Trophy. Let's look at some defensemen. And here they are, the top 3 points leaders: Quinn Hughes, Cale Makar, and Roman Josi coming in
tighter here.
Roman Josi is making a bid for this big time. So, who are you going to go with?
Who's first? You?
Of course, age before beauty.
Age before beauty. Age and beauty before me.
I'm starting with, I was up on Yossi's soapbox all the week. I love how he's been playing, but I gotta still go back to Quinn Hughes. It's just gotta start. He's been starting. I like how he's been from the get-go. He's been leading. Oh, you just wait your turn.
Okay.
You'll have time. He's been from the get-go. He's been leading the league. He's been the top defenseman in the game. I know Makar's come on strong, and Josi has come on exceptionally strong. That's why I have Josi on the bench. And I can't believe that I'm saying this.
Words we'll never hear. Number 2.
Cale Makar is scratched.
Scratch. Get out of the lineup.
Yeah. The two best of the best.
I have this completely flipped. I feel like the Norris has gotten away from this. It's the guy who wins the points. Typically, is getting it. But I take it as the Norris says, if you take this guy away from the team has nowhere to go. They're out of the playoffs. Categorically, they won't make it. I feel like if you take Quinn Hughes out of that lineup, they can still make the playoffs, Vancouver. If you take Roman Josi, Josalaya, the king, the beautiful man, out of that lineup in Nashville, they do not make the playoffs. Therefore, I am starting Romanov. I am starting him. I think he is the Norris winner. He has done things on this team this year, carrying them on the back end that I have not seen in a long time from a defenseman, playing PK minutes, playing offensive minutes, just doing everything for this team. I am benching Makar.
Oh.
And I, ladies and gentlemen, am going hot take city. I am scratching Quinn Hughes.
I like you.
Deal with it.
I love
Deal with it.
on Yossi, but doesn't that make him more? Oh, I get the homer and he gets the hot take. Okay, we'll see about that. But the Yossi, aren't you arguing that he should be the MVP then with those?
I'm giving. I'm close to putting him in the MVP.
I like.
But just with the way, if he keeps going this way, and I said it, me and Rupper talked about it yesterday, that he has to be in the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because as the Hart Trophy is the most valuable player to a team. It's not a points race. It's the most valuable player. That's why I think Kucherov is the most valuable out of any player. But Josie keeps going, and the way they keep mounting and playing better and better and beating these top teams. I mean, why wouldn't you even have him in that conversation as well?
The amazing thing is, weren't we having this same exact conversation about Roman Yossi a year ago, almost today? He just keeps getting stronger and stronger, and next thing you know, it's like, boy, where would this team be without Yossi?
Nowhere. They'd be in the
They'll wear us
lottery
down
pick.
eventually.
You kind of now you've convinced me. Had we had this conversation earlier today, I would do that. I went with Quinn Hughes as my starter. Cale Makar is on the bench, and Roman Yossi is a scratch. But I hate doing that because he's not. And to your point, I would if I could change the graphic. You convinced me, but for reasons that I love an old school defenseman too. That is not just a point producer, but can really protect the land back there, be a big body, be a stabilizing force on the team, and that's what Roman Yossi is.
I think there should be 2 defense awards.
Like puck-moving defenseman and
I just think you want your point one, and then you want your defensive
awards. And how come the forwards don't have an award?
They get enough of them.
You get enough
No, we don't.
Touch grass.
Richard, that's it. The MVP is traded by everybody.
And the Hart. Usually the Hart's the forward.
He can win the MVP. It happens.
Can he, though?
It happens.
So
tough, if a D wins the MVP, does a forward get to win the Norris Trophy that year?
No.
Selke.
Come on, let's
Forward has Selke.
Somebody
has Selke. What are we talking about? The forward has what the Rupp?
Yeah. All right, let's go on to the Jack Adams Award. Here are
trophies for the forwards. All
Selke.
The odds are Rick Tocchet, obviously. Paul Maurice has done a fabulous job with that Panthers team. Peter Laviolette for the Rangers, and Rick Bowness with Winnipeg. So, Perry, lead us off here. Who would you start, bench, and scratch?
Well, you got to hand it. I'm starting off. Rick Tocchet has just pushed all the right buttons for Vancouver this year. I mean, they've kind of withstood a little bit. They've seen a little bit of adversity, but with what Tocchet has done with that team from what they had last year is absolutely night and day. I think the numbers show there why he's kind of the heavy favorite to win it. Now, I, of course, bench, which was really hard for me to say bench to this guy because he used to be saying it to me, but I benched Laviolette.
Wow.
Which yeah, you benched him.
Your scratches.
I know.
You're off your rocker.
Oh, JD,
today.
didn't we? We're going to need another session here after this. The two of us.
We might wrestle at the end of this.
Yeah, that's what you get. No, Lavi, and yeah, I love Lavi. Yeah, Paul Maurice. I mean, the expectations, I know. Jimmy Montgomery last year with the Boston Bruins, everything that he wins, the winning team, they deserve it, everything Paul Maurice has. But I'm just not this year. I don't see it.
All right,
I'm Lavi on that talk. No,
we're
by
different.
all means.
We're differing again. I'm going, and listen, Tocchet has done amazing things, and he's pushed the right buttons, but I look more at how off the charts that shooting percentage was of Vancouver, where it was like ungodly, and it's kind of slowly regressing, and Demko's been incredible. So I put Paul Maurice because he's continued from last year as my start. And the way he's got this team playing and everybody bought in, and they had a lot of injuries early on in the year, and they were just cooking with all these guys missing on the back end. They were just playing this great team defense and team offense, and everybody plays the same way every night. So my start is Paul Maurice. My bench is Rick Tocchet because what he's done has been incredible in Vancouver. And my scratch is Lavi.
Oh, boy.
Lavi is a scratch.
You're scratching the one Stanley Cup winning coach out of that.
Yeah, I'm scratching Lavi.
All right.
I'm scratching Lavi. Better lineup, New York.
One off my
right.
Lavi,
I'm going to go with.
Lavi. No.
I'm going to start talk because it's just unbelievable the turnaround in Vancouver. I'm going to bench Coach Maurice And I'm gonna actually scratch Laviolette. And
Oh,
you guys
we're-
don't have to go
we're
interview
close.
these coaches.
Yeah,
at some
you wait
point,
a
by the
minute.
way. I
Yeah.
don't like this
We're
game
close.
at all
I'm gonna
with the
send
Jack-
I'm gonna text to Lavi on this, KT.
I'm sorry, coaches. This is just a fun game, but yeah, that's where I'm at. Let's go to the Calder.
Oh, this is
way
gonna
better
get,
conversation.
This is gonna get spicy here.
Yes. Here you go. Look at these odds, you
Yep.
guys.
That's a
Yep.
joke.
Connor Bedard,
That's an absolute joke.
Because it's the name.
Brock
Of
Faber,
course, he's
and
got
Luke
all the
Hughes.
expectations. He's
That's
the,
a joke.
He's the
All right, so
next
who you
one.
got?
He's the next kid.
He
He's
looks
the
great,
next
though. I
Sidney
gotta give
Crosby.
that.
Nothing against Connor Bedard. He ain't my starter.
Not mine either.
He ain't my
This is-
starter. My
This is
starter.
worth the conversation.
Yeah.
And
my
we're going to
starter-
lay it out.
Yeah. Oh, and I'm looking forward to this one. Where's the soapbox? Where's my soapbox?
We should bring one in here. But
Brock Faber is the starter for the Calder Trophy.
Won't
Brock
you
Faber just earned this
forget
Calder
about
Trophy.
me?
You can call me a homer.
You can
all
burn
you
that
want
house
on
down
that
'cause
one. I
I'm
don't
with him.
care. Put it in all four corners. I don't care. Brock Faber for what he's done, for the situation he's been put in the Minnesota Wild with the injuries to Spurgeon, the injuries to Brodin. This kid didn't play a sniff, not one shift on the power play in college hockey. He has been forced into put into a situation where you're hoping that veterans can handle. As a rookie, they give him more minutes, they give him more responsibility, and all he does is get better.
finish your bench and scratch, and
Sorry,
I'm going to elaborate. I am with you and preach. You could talk all day, baby, about that.
No, I'm talking. Hey, Bedard. I'm benching Bedard. Obviously, he's the heavy favorite. He's the name. He's a superstar in the making.
He is.
But let's talk.
Yay, welcome.
Oh, thank you. Only took 6 or 7 years.
It's fun to get the hot take.
It's nice to get that.
It's fun to get it.
Feels good.
I feel like I might be onto something.
I'm actually contributing here.
Yeah, and your scratch
And
is.
I'm benching Bedard, and I'm scratching Hughes out of that. But just because, me, it's Bedard or Faber, either one. Or it's between those two. But yeah, with what Faber's done this year, it's outstanding. And I'm going to let you take the floor, my friend.
If we have a bandwagon graphic, that'd be great, because I'm hopping on with the fella. I'm going Faber-tooth Tiger. Again, not to discount, he's played more games than Bedard. Doesn't matter the points. I'm looking at a defenseman that is playing in all situations for this team. He's +2. I know plus-minus, it's a weird stat. But the worst plus-minus in NHL history for a Calder player was Gilbert Perreault, LG in the back, at -38. Connor Bedard is at -39. I'm sorry, but I can't consciously, even if he had 50, 60 points, I can't give that. I know how bad your team is. Listen, Faber's in tougher situations playing against top lines offensively. He's at a +2. He's given his team a chance to make it to the playoffs. They're probably not going to make it, but he's got no Spurgeon, no Brodin now.
No.
And he has been asked to do amazing things on the power play, on the penalty kill. And the fact that that number at -2,500 is so disrespectful to Brock Faber. So I'm going Brock Faber. I'm going to start jumping up on the soapbox with
Then I get an
here.
amen here.
Bench Bedard, because obviously Bedard, and scratch. I'm putting Luke Hughes scratch, but if Gunther had a full year, I'd have Dylan Gunther as my
yeah.
Oh,
scratch.
interesting.
be
All right, I'm going to be the voice of reason.
Sorry
Connor
about
Bedard
that.
is getting the Calder Trophy. When Mario Lemieux won the Calder, he was a -33, so your point is irrelevant. And
I'm sorry.
Connor Bedard missed 14 games due to an injury. It's not like they sent him to the minors. It's not like he was, benched.
Connor
Stay
McDavid.
healthy.
Connor
And he still
McDavid.
has more points than all of them, and it's just not even a discussion. So, yes, I'm going to start Connor Bedard. I'm going to bench Brock Faber, and Luke Hughes, who's had a great year, and he will continue to be a superstar for the New Jersey Devils, is unfortunately getting
He can
scratched.
convince you, but we can't
Yeah.
convince you.
No.
That's okay.
You-
Gotcha.
At what limit would you consider Faber?
At what limit?
What would it take in these last games for Faber to kind of narrow the gap?
Nothing. The
It's
Calder
gone.
is already
Yeah,
handed out.
So
Yeah.
if he doesn't play the rest of the year, Connor Bedard, you still give it to him, even if Faber they make the playoffs or get within 2 points of the playoffs.
Let's chat in 2 weeks.
25 minutes a night as a
Look at
D-man.
this.
Just saying, as a
I don't know.
Right.
I don't think so. But anyway, it was really nice that you gave such an argument, but
J. Roy.
it's completely not true. So
Let's go.